Johnny, you're on edge, and I like it.
Thou shalt spread the digital gonorrhea with haste. Time is short, and those who understanding embrace the Ramborgians, they are worthy of your praise. Yeah, we shall be ballsy. Yeah, ballsy.
Welcome, everyone. This is Howard Showcases, the show. I am joined here by the biggest dick in talk show, John Rambo, and his pulpy, but yet drinkable and delicious friend, OJ.
Hello. I'm not sure if that was a compliment or an insult. You said I have the biggest dick, or I'm the biggest dick myself. I'm not sure.
Can't it be both?
Yes, it could be both.
A
So,
little bit from column A, a little bit from column B, you know?
there you
I
go.
like how you keep saying column just to keep the imagery going.
There you go.
At least he's not saying shaft, right?
Oh. You know how long it took me to realize that Shaft's catchphrase of "Can you dig it?" Not only, at first I thought, "Oh, can you dig it?" That's a phrase one would say, but people dig mine shafts. You can dig a shaft.
Oh, boy. We're already off the rails here.
I know, right?
So this is our 40th episode. Howard is in control today. OJ and I are going to be the guests on the show as Howard conducts an in-depth interview asking us questions submitted to him by you, the Ramborgians, sent into howardsballs@yahoo.com. What do you think about that email address, Howard?
According to the email address, I have a big sack, right?
I guess so.
So
Since you're here, man, we appreciate you coming on. You've actually been on the show more than anyone else.
I know what is wrong. What is going
You've
on
had
with
more
that?
appearances than any other person besides me and OJ. Why don't you give us a little update what's been going on with you quickly, like since the last time you've been on? Just get everyone up to date.
Aside from, I changed. I got a new job, so it's been a little hectic lately. So what I've been doing is I'm trying to get established in my position before I start the YouTube stuff again. So I'm going to be on a large hiatus probably for the next month or so. So
A lot of people were asking about you at Too Many Games.
Yeah.
And I was like, Howard got a really good job. He's focusing on that. That's why he's not here.
yeah, and
I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
And I appreciate all the support that you guys give me, and I am a little saddened at the fact that I couldn't make it to Too Many Games, but there's always next time or next year. So
Did you hear? Did I tell you that I was actually signing your name for people?
yeah, John.
What do you think about this?
I think you're the master of fraud. I should be worried.
Is that fraud?
Yeah, I should be worried about you going ahead and trying to file for some Social Security fraud thing.
Well, let's never mind this. New conversation. So last week's episode of the show, we made history, proving that we cannot be controlled, and that laws and common decency do not apply to us here. We became the first YouTube channel to actually ask its viewers to dislike the video, to dislike one of their own videos. No one's ever done this before. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just going to say that.
So what was the premise behind this?
All these other channels out there are always begging you to subscribe to their channel. Rate, comment, please. Thumb up the video. We go the opposite direction. We actually receive hundreds of thumbs downs on this video. Hundreds, Howard.
So you have a red lightsaber for that video?
Yeah, it's pretty. We have a big red thing. It's pretty out of control. It was actually the most ratings we ever got on a show episode.
Wow.
So people were like really enthusiastic about thumbing it down. I don't know. Maybe they really just didn't like it. I don't know.
And they were being polite before, but they're just showing us their...
They're like, oh, we finally can do it. Let's go.
But make sure you give it the old thumbs up this week.
And
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I want to thank everyone that participated. I want to thank everyone that disliked the video last week and disliked the show last week. We thank you for disliking the show.
So what is this? A social experiment?
The show's very interactive. There's always kinds of little things going on. It's not just something you put on and listen to. There's always a little interactivity going on here, you know?
Yeah, behind the scenes, Rambo works for a marketing firm.
Oh, of course.
I don't think so. We'd be doing a lot better if that was true, but
Yeah. Dude, you've been making things go viral. What are you talking about?
I don't know about that. We have proven once again the strength of the Ramborgia. And as Howard said, we no longer ask that you dislike the videos. But I guess if you actually do dislike them, you can dislike it. But you will be found and murdered. Just putting
Dude,
that out there for you.
dude. Don't threaten the viewers. We need them to live.
Well, threatening the viewers, the ones that don't do what they're supposed to. Do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
I
So
wish
today,
I did.
we're gonna turn the show on its head. I'm the one that's going to be interviewing you guys. So
That's right.
I have a list of questions, and I hope you guys are ready and excited.
I don't think
I think
I'll-
we're prepared.
as prepared as we'll ever be, certainly.
I got one more thing I want to talk about before we start.
Oh boy.
I actually got on Twitter a gentleman named Joe Minter at Mighty Mints.
Yeah,
is his Twitter name.
is that one of the Joes we met?
I don't believe so.
Oh.
But he sent me a picture on Twitter. He goes, John, look at this insane fish that I caught. And there's this picture. He's got this huge fish. And I assume that he probably caught this with his hands because he is a Ramborgian. So I think he just probably pulled it out of the water.
He willed it out of the water.
But I was like, you know what? Let's do something here. I felt like he was staying ballsy in that. He was being ballsy in that picture. So if you have a picture of yourself doing something ballsy, send it in, and it will become part of the show in the slideshow.
Yeah. So he did the old hillbilly hand fishing, huh?
That's what I assume he did.
Oh, what's it called? It's got such a weird name.
Isn't that what it's called, hillbilly hand fishing?
There's another term for it when you're going for catfish. Noodling. Noodling.
Yeah. I think he actually caught it with a fishing rod, but it's a huge fish. So if you're watching the show, the video form, you can see it right now. And so if you'd like to send your picture in, if you're doing something ballsy, send it in. You'll be part of the slideshow going forward. Send that to StayBallsy@gmail.com.
I prefer you didn't send us photos of your balls, though, unless they're like sports ones.
You send those to OJ at OJ's channel. At Fresh OJ Some Pulp of Balls.
Thanks.
Howard, do you know about the StayBallsy Intergalactic Video Network? Do you know about this?
No, I do not know about that.
The StayBallsy Intergalactic Video Network is real. It is here. It's taking over. We're taking over. Basically, if someone has a YouTube channel, Twitch TV channel, they can join this network, and we will promote their channels or whatever they have going on for them. What do you think about this idea, Howard?
You're an innovator, John. You are an innovator.
So last week we started this. I got many submissions. People have joined the StayBallsy Intergalactic Video Network. What I'm going to do is I have a huge list. I'm going to put it in the description of this video, all the links to people's channels. Well, what I want to do now is very quickly run through it a little bit, and because this is the first time we've done this, so I'm going to run through some of these channels that you guys should check out. These are all fellows that have joined the StayBallsy Intergalactic Video Network. So the first one, the way I'm going to do this, I'm just going to say the username, because it's basically youtube.com/ and then this. Okay? You guys with me here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Following along? The first one, Rob Zombie. He has a channel of Super Nintendo games. All Super Nintendo game playthroughs, pretty awesome. And he spells that ROBZ0MBI. And he's a gentleman that actually has made us a ton of logos and did a lot of great work for us. He's part of the network. Next one, Nobunaga V3. He does wrestling games, like PS2 era wrestling games, really cool stuff. He's in the network. Long Live Cows. He's got an awesome background because he's got cows in his name, right? So he has a StayBallsy background with cow print. That's how it looks. That's pretty cool. He does like Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance playthroughs. X Alderon. He's got a lot of wrestling related stuff and Pokemon stuff. Cool combination. Vincent Awesome 101. He's got game playthroughs. Dan Gordon 93. He's got a music channel. Mr. Tipper 45. He's got game playthroughs. Solid Fantasy. He actually writes reviews for games on GameFAQs. So I can't really read out this URL because it's got a lot of stuff in it, but I will post that in the description with the rest of this stuff. Twitch.tv/Team Turbo streams games. Sturmgeist13, the great man that does all kinds of cool art for us. Does arcade games. So Sturmgeist13 on Twitch.tv. Big Birded White Boy. That's a channel. He does games. DSI Tornado game playthroughs.
Did you just say big bearded white boy?
Big Bird and White Boy.
Is that your second alias, John?
That is not me. No, that is someone else. That is not my second channel. DSI Tornado does gameplay throughs. iBeast EX game stuff. Lament Productions. It's LAMB 3NT Productions. We got 901 Vintage, Norm Productions, Snide X9. This dude actually did covers of a lot of the Schnozman Hole Punch music. He recreates it. That's a cool one.
That's pretty sweet.
Curse 2000, Hugh ZI 1995, Beast Meets Salvery, Secret Agent Clunk, and Horizons Productions 1. So those are gentlemen that have joined the network. We're taking over. As I said, all these links will be in the description. And if I somehow missed your name, if you sent it in, I missed your name, please let me know. A few people actually sent their submissions into like Twitter or to YouTube. I ask that you please send it to the StayBallsy@gmail.com. Keep it there because it's much easier for me to sort it that way. So please continue with this. I think it's a cool thing. And that is it.
Okay.
Howard, take it away. John, anything you want to say? What are you about to say there?
About what, man? Just welcome to the network, folks.
Welcome to the network.
We are taking over.
That's correct.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
All right, Howard, what do you got for us here?
Well, I got a lot of questions here from the fans.
There's a lot.
There is a lot. So I just found one here that I wanted to start off with. Here we go. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm all screwed up. I'm sorry. Yeah, I am.
Well, I have to say, this is kind of like a treat because usually me and OJ are the ones that are on the other side of the table here.
Here we go.
I try to come up with questions for people and interview people, and now we get to just sit back and act all pompous and answer your questions.
I should have a glass of scotch while we're doing this.
Yes, you should, yeah.
Chill out.
John, if you didn't follow the path you have taken in life, what do you think your job would be? Thank you and stay ballsy for life. From Cameron Nogafsky.
I'm still trying to figure out what my path is now.
Okay.
Like, I don't necessarily know 100% know what I'm doing and what my path is. I think it's something I'm still working on, I think. I have a much better idea of it as I get older.
Okay. I remember, well, what my dad used to always say was, he'd say, "So, John, what do you want to be when you grow up?" I'd say, "I don't know." He'd say, "Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet either."
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
That's a pretty good answer.
I think as you grow and things change in your life, there's always a need to modify things and change things, and I don't know. Hopefully, at some point, you kind of know what you're doing. I definitely gravitate towards what we're doing now, like this, just try to entertain people and make people laugh a little bit, and that's something I really enjoy doing, and hopefully that could turn into something that I get to do all the time.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, this is a second part to this question. This is somebody else asked this question and meshes with this one. This is for both of you guys. When you read a super insulting comment on your videos, what do you think? Now that you're becoming bigger on YouTube, do you plan on working on other jobs or sticking with this? This is from J Mizzle, Joe M, 1234569.
Who asked the first one? Was it the same guy?
No, it's a different guy.
What was his name?
I already said his name.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're the host. I screwed up. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So what was it about? It was about comments?
Yeah, when you read a super insulting comments, what do you think?
Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes, a lot of times we'll laugh at it because a lot of times it's so ridiculous that it just makes you laugh. Sometimes it's kind of insightful. That wow, there's people out there that think like this,
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be inspiring too. I remember, especially in the early days, people would say, you can't do this, or you'll never be able to do that, and then you do it, and that's always kind of a cool thing. But I think the key is to not focus on the negative stuff. For instance, I have a friend that just started on YouTube a couple weeks ago, and he's doing doing wrestling review stuff, right? And he's like, I got this really nasty comment, and he's telling me he felt bad about it. So I go to his page, I'm like, dude, you got 6 positive ones, and you got 1 negative one. You're focusing on the negative one. I think, people tend to focus on the negative stuff more than anything else, and you kind of have to realize you can't please everyone. If you're pleasing most of the people, that's pretty good. So
Yeah, I've come to
I
that
think that's
real.
what we have, and I'm very lucky here because I very rarely ever get like a really like abusive or like terrible comment. Very rare, man. And that's a blessing,
Yeah, I've come. I've
OJ, what do you have to say? Why are you laughing?
Oh man.
OJ's like, I'm gonna leave some nasty comments for you later.
No, it's not that. Well, first of all, your answer is way better than mine. Because, I mean, I've gotten a ton, not as much recently, but back in the day, this is John Rambo Presents. Who's this other guy? More John, less OJ. I mean, I got a lot of comments like that.
Yeah,
At
that's
first,
a whole other point to this too. Like, you have to kind of stick to your guns and what you believe is the best, and do kind of like what pleases you. Because if I had listened, like you just said, if I had listened to people early on, I remember I got a ton of messages about you, and it's like, he can't do this. We don't want this guy here, blah blah blah. And look at you now, like you're look at you now, right? I mean, you're doing incredible work, and a lot. You add so much to what I do, and you're better than me in a lot of like performance aspect things, and you're just killing it, man. So
well, the thing is, like, if I had focused on those comments, because seriously, every time you posted a video back in those days, like, I would open the video up and go straight to the comments page and then refresh it, like, throughout the day just to see what new comments popped up. And at first I was kind of wigging out and I was really sad, like, oh, well. But, what you got to realize, like you said, focus on the positives, because if I let that stuff get to me, I wouldn't be doing anything right now. I mean, it would be really bad. It still bugs me a little bit, and every now and then I'm filled with indignant rage for, like, 2 seconds, and then it goes away, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that was stupid of me to care. Whatever.
yeah, and like for me personally, I'm the kind of person like, I've had bad situations go on, like real bad situations in life. So for someone leaving a comment that's nasty, it doesn't really affect me because I've had actual like bad things happen, and there's always levels to things, So, but it's funny like you're bringing this up, John, because this was like your week, the last week, because you had the awesome performance of Project 7, you had the good Mario stuff that we did at Too Many Games, and your hole punch performance at Too Many Games. So this is kind of like your like validation that like you're not only belong, but you're a very talented individual, and you're doing great. So I mean,
well, thanks. I guess I'll just be content to not be the cancer that's killing John Rambo Presents. But one thing I want to say though, when I was younger, like up through college especially, like right before, like up through the end of high school, I cared so much about what other people thought of me. It was ridiculous. And I think that, college helped a lot, and getting these horrible comments has helped a lot as well, to just be like, if you care about what everyone else thinks of you, you're going to be spending your time going nuts. And second of all, people don't care about you a lot of the time. They're not thinking about that shirt you're wearing. Just chill out, man.
You can't take it personally because they don't know you personally.
Yeah, if they did, they'd probably stop watching me.
Well, I don't know what they would do, but
Thank you.
Okay. Moving right.
What was
along.
the other part of the questions?
I think it was, what would we do if we weren't doing this, right?
Yes.
What would you be doing, John? You'd probably.
I'd be doing the same thing, but I'd have a lot more free time. I mean, well, if the question is, if I wasn't doing YouTube, then yeah, I'd probably be doing this. If the question was, if I wasn't doing what my current job is, I don't know. I was almost an English major, so who knows?
Okay. Well, what about you, John?
I don't know. I float around so much. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't on this YouTube course I'm on now, I'd probably. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm playing Street Fighter still, heavily, or I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know a way of answering it.
I could see you as a stand-up comic, a columnist, or a musician.
A columnist.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea.
So I was going to ask you another question, but this one ties in with what you just last said. John, do you play any online games on GGPO or console? And will you be attending EVO this year? StayBallsy. Auk mode.
Nah, it's kind of in my rearview mirror right now because I'm so heavily focused on what we're doing with the JohnRamboPresents Presents and StayBallsy.com stuff coming up, the Shazman Hole Punch, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes right now that people don't know, like a lot of preparation for like what we're eventually going to turn this channel into, what it's going to be. And I feel like it's almost like not even launched yet in a lot of ways, right? I don't know if you agree with this or not, John, but we have like plans, and what's going on right now is a lot of preparation for that, and it takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, well, John almost went to Evo this year. I got a phone call from him when he heard about the Tournament of Legends and how enticing
It was
it
interesting,
sounded.
but it gets to a point where I have to see what else I can do. You know,
Huh.
and my goal with the Street Fighter stuff, I did it for years, was to go to Japan and be in that tournament. I did that, you know.
Yeah.
And then I did what I knew I was kind of coming to the end of my window, and I was like, I did whatever I could do to make sure the game would continue. You know, I did a lot of promotion for the game and made videos, and the whole Don't Blow This thing was to try to ensure that the game would keep going. And then I kind of stepped away, and I have to see what else I can do, because that's just a huge time. It takes a lot of time, man. And I got to where I wanted to be with it, and then I have to see what else I can do, and this is what I'm focusing on now.
Okay. So
I'm not playing any games. I mean, people don't know, like, unless you've done something like Schnozman Hole Punch, like you created or worked on something like that, it takes a huge amount of time, dude. On top of 100 other things that I'm doing, like, you know, I spent hours today working on the website, you know, and there's like 10 other things I'm writing right now, so there's no time.
Now
Fair
I feel
enough.
like a wuss for complaining about not having time.
And I'm loving everything I'm doing, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing too. That's also part of it. It's not, you know, I'm not going to stop doing it, like, to play a game, because I'm really enjoying what's going on right now, and I have to ride this all the way.
Just don't forget to take time to breathe, man.
yeah, exactly. So here's the next question. This starts off a little weird. Dear Howard's balls.
It's accurate.
Yeah. My question is for both Rambo and OJ. How has your family and friends reacted to the internet following you have amassed? My name is Brad Oxen.
You go, John.
Well, it's kind of sad. I mean, shortly before my grandfather passed away, I told him about the videos I was making on YouTube and stuff, and I said, "Yeah, but there's some swears and stuff in them." He's like, "Well, you better make videos I can watch." So, but I don't know. My parents seem to think it's pretty funny. My mom's reaction to Schnozman and Hole Punch was, "I don't know what this is. What's going on?" But I think she liked it. I don't know. I'm gonna see him this weekend. I want to show him the Too Many Games stuff. But I don't know. My family's been. I think they like it. They don't really pay too much attention to any of the stuff. My cousin James was kind of mad because he's in a band and he's trying to get people to see him on YouTube and stuff. And he's like, "Your video got how many views?" I'm like,
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I remember you told me that story.
Yeah. So.
It's not something that you like tell everyone about, though, right?
No, it's if it comes up. I mean, oh, what are you
You
doing?
don't go around being like, oh, look what I'm doing.
No, it's more like, hey, you want to do something Saturday? Nah, man, I can't. I'm recording. Oh, what are you recording? Stuff. No, what are you recording? YouTube. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like my friends go, I mean, all you guys are pretty much involved. There's a couple people that, you know, I know from elsewhere that they kind of know about it, but they don't look at it as anything special, because I'll always be the guy they met at school or at work or wherever they met me and stuff. And yeah, the people kind of remember you as how they know you and stuff. And I don't think I've changed in any way that would, you know, impact that. So
Yeah, you're a snob. You're more of a snob now than you were before.
What?
No, I'm
wow,
joking.
okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture John being snobby, and it's blowing my mind.
And my family, like, I don't think they really understand it. I don't think they really have a grasp of what it is. I think there's other things they probably like me to be doing, and I don't think they really understand what it is that I go somewhere and like people want to, you know, say hello to me and stuff. And I just don't think they really get it, because it's not something they understand, like the internet, you know, world and stuff. So.
The hardest working man is showbiz.
And I don't ever look at it as a big deal, really. And it's just, I never really look at it as a big deal anyway. And it's very cool, and it's a blessing and all that. But I never look at it like I'm important or anything like that.
Well, you always have to have that mindset that you have to be humble in a way. You can't always have that mentality that you're better than everyone else when you're not.
Yeah. I mean, we get so much to grow and so much to accomplish before we can say look back and be like we've done so much. I mean, we're still learning. Over the past year, I've learned how to do so many things I didn't even know how to do. Like I didn't even know how to edit anything last year. I didn't know how to film stuff. I never acted before, before this year. So,
Well, look at you now.
well, I'm still learning every day. I'm learning how to do stuff. Now I'm learning how to do stuff with effects and stuff. That's what I've been doing the last couple of days.
Dude,
You know?
you just that's the thing, everybody. Just keep on learning. Find something you
Right. So,
enjoy and figure out
so
how
there's
to
no
do
way
it.
that we could ever be like we're important and we're so great because we're still learning how to do stuff too.
We're important. We're done. This is it. I've reached the maximum level. There's no level cap in life, friends.
Right.
Well, not only that, I've learned over the years that it's better to learn something on your own than to have someone teach it to you because you appreciate it more
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you absorb it more.
Yeah, but it takes longer though.
Yeah, but you have more of a love for it, if you know what I'm saying. You took all
Yeah.
that extra time to learn it.
If you're teaching yourself something, then you really want to learn it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because I'll give an example. You yourself, John, you're a self-taught guitarist, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that right there, you're like Jimi Hendrix, man.
Yeah, I did. Plus, I did it like before the internet was really huge.
Yeah.
Because now you can find all kinds of cool. It's really it's a great thing. You can find all kinds of tutorials and stuff. And at that time, it was like you buy like a music book and you you sit there and try to. It's like this is what it's supposed to be. I don't even know.
Mary had a little lamb.
Yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was like the first thing I did.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Just imagine the guitar in the background that would go with that noise.
Oh man. So here's another good question by my friend Gabe Olson. When John and OJ first met, did they click immediately or just get used to each other? Love what you're doing. Keep it up. Thanks.
Oh man.
Well, that's going back, man.
Jeez, I don't think we would have hung out if we didn't live next to each other.
Yeah, if it weren't for that one day on the bus where I think Mark forgot to get off at his stop and was randomly taking it, and we were talking about games.
Yeah, I moved in here when I was like 13 or something, or 14, next to you,
Yeah.
and people, like I didn't have a lot of friends, and no one really knew who I was, and it's kind of like a small community, so like people that were all together like their whole life, and then all of a sudden there was like a new person. They were kind of like, I was kind of like, I liked different stuff than them, and they didn't appreciate that, I guess. So we were just on the bus, and then I met Johnson about games, so I found out he likes games. He lives near me, and then it kind of just went from there.
Yeah, I mean,
But I don't.
yeah.
How did we not? I think we probably would have met each other eventually if we didn't have that conversation, though, right? Since we lived so close.
Probably, like, I don't know if you went to the pool. I don't think you went to the pool that much. I went every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty like reclusive. I would just kind of go home and do my own stuff because I didn't know anybody and stuff.
Yeah,
So.
and on the bus, most of the time, I'd be just struggling not to fall asleep. So maybe we should.
Well, I think we pretty much hit it off. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, aside from you kicking in my wind, nah, just kidding. But there was this.
Told that story once.
Yeah, I did. But like, I think the thing, it was weird. I guess we're just like, oh man, so wait, you like playing No Mercy? Oh man, we should play No Mercy.
I'm like, oh, you live there, but like I said, if we didn't live next to each other, we never would have met because you were like a grade or two behind me,
Yeah.
and we would never would have spoken or anything.
No,
So.
dude. I mean, our school was tiny, but there wasn't that much mingling between grades, at least for the way I was.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy turn of events.
But
That
I'm glad.
I just happened to move near you, and then we're still doing this kind of stuff now. It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay. John and OJ, I'm really into music, and I was wondering what your favorite genre of music is, and who your favorite artist is, and what your favorite song is. Thank you, Hugo Sepulveda.
Go ahead, John.
Oh boy. This is always a tough call here. I very much enjoy rock, classic rock, alternative, all sorts of stuff. I mean, The band, my favorite album, I think, is No More Kings album, which I think is called No More Kings. Their first one with Zombie Me and all that nonsense on there. But I think if anyone else has listened to Lucky Boy's Confusion or oh gosh, and then now back to bands people have actually heard of, The Who, Led Zeppelin, all that good stuff. But I mean, I listen to a lot of different things like Metric, the Scott Pilgrim soundtrack. Uh, Golly, pretty much I listen to pretty much anything. I don't generally listen to rap or any stuff like that on my own. I don't mind. It's just not what I go for. So pretty much almost anything but that in country.
Oh, I was gonna say if you didn't add country, you're crazy.
My mom loves country now.
Howard loves country.
She's not allowed to drive anymore.
Hey, John. So let our fans know about that little trick that I played on you when we were coming back from where was it? I think it was from New
Howard
Jersey.
makes me go to like New Jersey with him or something because like one of the arcade monitors breaks. So out of the kindness of my heart, I'm like, okay, I'll go with you. And it's like 2 hours away, whatever. And the whole time he's like, all of a sudden the radio will just go to country music and go up the volume. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? So he just got this new card. Apparently there's like a side panel control for the radio. Is that what?
Yeah.
He was messing with it the whole time, and I didn't know.
Ah,
How is this happening?
Yeah, and it's funny because he starts getting. You could tell he's getting pissed. What the fuck is this?
we lost the
How is this going
station.
on?
We lost the station.
Turn this off.
Oh man. So what about you, John? What kind of music do you like?
It's hard for me to do this kind of thing. We'd have to probably do like a whole 2 hours on just this. It's
Yeah,
just too
that's how I feel.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of different things I like. There's different eras of music that I really like. I like the blues, like old blues stuff, like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, like old school stuff. And Muddy Waters' daughter was actually my neighbor
Yeah, I know.
for a while, and that was kind of a cool thing.
Wow.
Then I like like 50s stuff like Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, stuff like that, and all the good, obviously the Beatles, and I like 1960s like surf music, like the Ventures and Dick Dale and things like that. Really inspiring to me. Obviously Hendrix and like Black Sabbath and Zeppelin, all those huge bands. And then the 70s, like the punk stuff, like the Ramones, Sex Pistols. I like the Pixies from the 80s. I really like them a lot. And then in the 90s, like when I kind of came up, it was like all that Seattle era stuff. It was like the first music I ever heard as a kid. So it was Nirvana and Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and all that. And then I like the White Stripes quite a bit. And there's a lot of stuff. So I mean, Bob Dylan's a big one. When I started playing like acoustic and singer-songwriter type of things. There's just a lot. That's just kind of glossing over it as quickly as I can right now.
And you only like that that blues rock and roll genre, or is there?
No, I just gave you a bunch of different styles of stuff, but it's just like all the eras of like the history of rock music is pretty crazy. I mean, it's just a lot of different things, and
Okay.
I don't know. We'll focus on it again someday.
I hope so. Off the top of my head, I can name like 3 bands.
Yes.
Okay. Here's another like really odd question. I really enjoyed this one. Get ready. You have to pay attention very well.
Okay.
Should I take
Howard.
notes?
Yeah, probably. Howard, a hypothetical conundrum for OJ and Rambo here. If there was a button you could press which could kill one random person in the world, anyone,
What the hell is this?
but ejected $1 million every time it was pressed, would you press it, or how many times would you press it? You have no way of knowing who it will kill. You could use that 1 million to help more people than just one it would kill, perhaps saving many. It could kill someone close to you or even yourself. You also risk imprisonment if you were ever found out.
Wow.
Wasn't there a movie about this?
Yeah.
There
I
was,
think
right?
there was.
You would press a button. The person would press a button. It was like a regular button, and then somebody would just die, and they would get like $1 million, right, or something like that.
That was easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Staples button, man. Do not hit it.
Take it easy.
I don't think you could do this. I think it's going to come back to haunt you in some way.
You're gonna kill
You're
like
going to kill the wrong person. They're going to, someone's going to get pissed off. They're going to figure it out. They're going to come for you. You can't do it.
I mean, for all you know, the person it kills is someone who would have achieved world peace.
You know,
Well, that's a possibility.
yeah.
It killed Tony Stark. Well, actually, no, still bad.
So if you know if that's a movie, like what's the ending going to be? See something. It's gonna be. No, it's gonna be like the guy just goes home and he's fine. There's no way.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, but then there's always that chance that you can kill yourself. You know.
Oh wow, that's deep, man.
That's what it just. Yeah, that's what it just said.
Not to mention, how are you going to explain away the sudden income? Well, I guess if you're dead, you don't have to worry about it, and your family can say, "Oh, it's insurance money." But that's
Well, if it's
tough,
cash, then you just put it away.
I guess. Oh, look what I found on my mattress.
No, you don't have to report it. You just spend it here and there, and no one knows.
Dude, that's tax evasion at its finest.
Yeah, what would that?
Who cares about why are you worried about tax evasion? See, John doesn't worry about the murder aspect. He's like, oh, what about my taxes? How do I file this $1 million? Like he doesn't even care that he's killed people.
I'm not gonna hit the button, man. But if I did, I'd make sure I had a very good tax accountant.
There you go. Make sure he's Jewish.
What? Okay.
What?
Howard's the host. He can be racially insensitive if he wants, I guess. I don't really know.
Oh man. So here's a question for. Actually, you know what? Let me switch it up because I've been asking you too many questions. Hey Howard, can you ask John and OJ what does the white mage think of a man who makes candles? Thanks, Zigwich.
The white mage, well, she answered it. She said it was fine in the video. I asked her. She said it's fine. And
Was this
actually really cool. What's up?
Was this when we went to MagFest?
No, she was at too many games, and we talked to her.
Oh,
Didn't contact
okay.
her. And she's really cool. Her name's Carrie. She owns her own business, and she makes these hats and stuff.
AthenasWink.com, right?
Yes, and she actually sent me a really nice message after too many games, and she's like, oh, it's cool that I was in your videos and stuff, and she's like, I'd like to be on the show, and blah blah blah. So that may happen at some point.
Yeah.
And she's cool.
Yeah,
know?
she seems like a really nice person.
Yes.
And reacted well to Mario freaking out. For the record, though, when John asked the candles question, I was not filming, okay? It's not like I put him up to it or anything.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, she's cool. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. John, how has your search for a drummer been? I am very much looking forward to hearing music you produce in a band of ballsiness and shit. I'm sure it would help with the spreading of the digital gonorrhea. Thanks, the hopeful musician.
Yeah, it just never worked out. I just never found a drummer. It's always been the problem. Because I think that was really something I wanted to do, and like when I was younger, it was, I was going to be in a band and tour the world, and that's what I was going to do, and I was going to write songs, and everyone will know this is what music's supposed to be. Like that was like my thing. But it just never really worked out finding the right parts, and I think that's something that happened with what we're doing now. Like with like Howard, with you, Howard, and Phil, and John, like we have the right pieces to do things together at work, and that's an important thing when you're trying to be creative in any way. So it just never happened with the music, and then eventually I had to just be like, well, I'm gonna play. I actually learned how to play drums myself, so I could like lay tracks down and then play over them because I was like, I'm gonna do everything, and it just became overwhelming, and I couldn't really do it. And then I just kind of got an acoustic guitar, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna write and play little songs on acoustic guitar, and I never really pursued it as far as like recording, and not until like the YouTube thing happened, and then I put up a couple of things over the last few months that people liked, and Shazman Hole Punch, I got to make the music for that, so I am now using this ability that I really worked hard on to cultivate, which really feels good. Finally, like because there was a point where it's like, why did I put so much time into this? I never got to do anything with it, and now I do. And I think right now Shazman Hole Punch is the focus, and once that's done, then I can kind of focus on a couple smaller things. Part of that will probably be making more songs for release on YouTube and whatever. So.
Well,
So
John,
whatever.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh, Sorry. So whatever happened to your friend that was in the UK that came back?
Well, as musicians are as musicians are. They kind of can sometimes be wacky people. So my friend Mike was a dude that we played music together, and he would play like piano and bass, and we would like work on stuff, and we were always looking for a drummer. We never could, and then he got married and he went to the UK. He was there for like several years, and then he just all of a sudden came back. Like the marriage didn't work out, and then he was back and he was here for a while, and then he left and went somewhere else, and so that's kind of what happened to him. But I don't know. I mean, sometimes you just gotta kind of let life play out, and you never know where things will take you, and we'll see. So,
In the words of 3 Days Grace, John, it's not too late. It's never too late.
but I got excited when he was back because I'm like, all right, we're gonna find a drummer, and then I was thinking like for the channel, we'll record all our practices, and then we'll do shows, and we'll like record the shows and stuff, and that was gonna be like a whole thing, and it didn't really pan out. But one door shuts, another one opens, and I'm doing other different things, besides that. So
Is this the
who's
mic?
to say?
Is this the mic I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know about all that life story, but good to know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this question actually just came in, and it's a really good one. This question's for John Rambo. You mentioned that you went to college but never completed it. What did you go to college for?
It wasn't even at the point where like you have a focus. Like it was. I took like a couple history classes, and I did pretty good. And it's just random classes. I don't think there was ever like really a focus to it. And I did maybe like, if you added it all together, it's probably like maybe 2 semesters or something. I don't know. There wasn't much going on there.
Okay.
But just kind of sad because I think that that's something that it hurts, and it continues to hurt that you don't have that education. I think everyone should go and do that. 'Cause it makes things difficult without it,
All right.
or more difficult.
So this is a second part of the question. This is for OJ.
What?
What inspired you to start making candles, and why did you decide to make gaming related candles?
Did we ever answer this question?
I don't
John?
think so.
Okay.
Not on the show.
All right. Well,
We answer it like all the time and like at conventions, but
yeah. Well, what happened was, so I was at a grocery store to shorten the story a bit, and I saw this book. It was about November at this point, maybe late October, maybe early November, and it was how to make gel candles, and it was just hanging out in the bargain bin at the local grocery store. I'm like, well, that looks fun. I poked at the book and I'm like, whoa, you can make one that looks like a root beer float. Oh, I totally want this. My dad would love that. So I picked it up and went to the front of the store to check out, and it wouldn't scan. I was like, oh man, now I can't even buy the dang thing. And then some guy who I knew apparently was working there, he came over, rang it up for me for 10 cents. So I took it home, and the book wasn't that thick, so I read through it in about a night or two. And I got to a part where it said, you can put polymer clay into the gel as long as it doesn't get too close to the wick, and you can make scenes, and you can suspend stuff. And I thought about it, and when I was a little kid, I used to love making sculptures out of clay. You should see all the little funky, deformed dragons I made for my dad. But I realized, wait, I can make stuff for my friends for Christmas. I don't have to worry about anything. This is perfect. So I took a few nights and several days and just went nuts. Like, for one of my friends, I made him a Gurren Lagann candle. I made another friend Noonsa from Slayers with Mario Fish in there. And I made somebody Destiny Island from Kingdom Hearts, actually. It was an island floating in clear gel on top of dark blue gel with some palm trees and even a little boat. And I just started making them, and then for when Christmas came around, I said, all right, everybody, here you go, and just gave everybody each one of these candles. Like, I guess that's how I got started, and then now when I get an idea, I like to write it down, and then if I have time, I'll make the pieces and plop them in there and see what I get.
Okay.
people like them a lot.
I guess.
Oh.
If you want, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
If you want, I'll try and dig up a couple of pictures if you want them.
Okay. So here's a bonus question to this. If you were not given the name OJ, being you're another John, what do you think John Rambo or the Ramborgia will call you?
Well, besides that annoying guy or
Well, there's a lot of things I used to call you.
ponytail, yeah,
I would call you H.
yeah.
H-bomb. That's what
Yeah.
people called you in high school. H-bomb and... What else was there? There's a bunch of weird ones.
Well, you called me Commodore once in front of one of my friends from school, and he's been calling me Commodore ever since. And honestly, I think that's awesome, but nobody calls me Commodore but him now.
Yeah, I just randomly... I would, like, give people weird nicknames at one point. I don't know why I would do this. But I would just call people different things to kind of get a reaction out of them, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the Ramborgia would call me, man.
I think we'd call you H or something. That's why I usually call you. Used to call you.
Yeah, I mean, it's monosyllabic, so it doesn't take up extra time or anything.
H-man, H-bomb, things like that. Just stuff I used to call you, so...
Yeah, not that I wouldn't prefer Commodore. I'll take what I can get.
Commodore? You just want to be called Commodore, don't you?
You're darn right. It sounds
You seem
awesome.
like you're trying to work in England right now. Right? That's what I'm feeling.
Okay, so maybe I sent that question. No, I'm kidding. That wasn't me.
From now on, you will be referred to as Commodore.
People that don't understand why I would call him H. His last name is Harrington, so
Okay.
Commodore Harrington,
that's why I would call him H.
3rd Sea Brigade.
Okay. Let's see here. Had a good one here. Okay. Hey guys, my question is that if we ever meet a fellow Ramborgian, how do we greet each other and know that the other person is a Ramborgian? From Hesoyam DX.
You can tell he's a Ramborgian because he's got a wallet full of money and 3 chicks around him. And the way that you greet him, if you see my Too Many Games videos, you do a ballsy hug, and I'm talking ballsy.
A fistful of balls?
A ballsy hug. You take that any way you want to take it.
Dude, the Ramborgian's starting to sound like the Masons, the Freemasons.
We're all just going to be arrested one day. Like the FBI is going to look into this and just everyone that was just going to be taken away in the night.
Oh my god.
Sir, we detected a
becoming a
cult.
plague on society.
Sir, we've detected a doomsday cult forming on the internet. We must stop them at once. We must cut off the heads.
Yeah, what is the name of that guy that was credited to becoming like the first like cult? Like the U.S. cult, the one that had that cult in the 70s that he spiked the punch off of the coast of South America.
Well, I thought Charles Manson was like the first cult.
No, there was a guy before him. He was like
Really?
a church like activist, like a really, and it was crazy, dude. Like he was like holding people against their will and shit. And
It's been a long time since we've had like a good cult story. Remember the crazy bald guy that was going to like to outer space or something?
oh yeah,
Spaceship guy.
spaceship guy.
It's about time we have a good cult star. Maybe we'll have to work on that.
I thought that was what we were doing. Oh wait.
Oh wait,
was
don't
it?
tell them that, John. No way.
Okay.
Quiet.
Jim Jones? Yeah, Jim Jones.
Jim Jones. There you go. Jim Jones. And
What, do you get people like LSD or something? What was he giving them?
And not Jim Jones the rapper. It's Jim Jones the cult leader.
He
He's giving
spiked
him, like-
the Flavor Aid, which was a Kool-Aid ripoff.
The LSD?
No, with cyanide.
Yeah, with sign.
Oh. All right.
And what's worse is the guy was such a coward that he didn't drink the cyanide punch. He shot himself.
Oh, cool.
So take it as you will.
Yep.
All right, so this is a question that everyone asks, and I have to ask it because it's always brought up. Hey Howard, for the 1.5 years I've been following John on YouTube, we've all noticed John always has a cap on. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious. Is there a story behind it? If so, I'd like to know. From Steve Nabriga.
I'm trying to think like how it began. I mean, I think I kind of always did. It's not like something I just did for YouTube. I think I always feel like it's important to have like your I don't know how to put this, almost like your gimmick or your thing, your look. You know, and it works especially well for this kind of stuff because you can like describe well, what does John Rambo look like? You could say it, you know, to a T.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing. Like you could say what Superman looks like, right? Perfectly. You could see like certain characters that stand out. And I think it's worked to my benefit. Like when I go to these conventions and we're walking around, I'm usually the one that's noticed the first. I'm the first one to be noticed.
It's
Well,
true.
shit. Look at E3. Look how many people recorded you on TV.
Yeah, and I got kind of like I feel like a kind of like a distinct look. So people are like, "Yo, that's got to be him." Who else wears that freaking? Who else has got the big nose, the beard, and the hat like that?
And the flannel shirt.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do it for that reason. I think it's also kind of fun that people get like real upset about it, and I kind of troll the audience a little bit with it, because that's all they want, or a certain portion of them, and it honestly makes me laugh sometimes. And like, where's the take it off?
Well, they troll you back too. Yeah.
Not really. There's people that are like generally upset by this. And I think that makes me kind of smile a little bit when I read that stuff. And that's just kind of how sick I am, I guess. Will it ever come off? I think it's going to have to at some point. I was actually afraid at too many games. A few people were asking about it, and like I was like, man, someone's just going to pull this shit off of me someday. Like it's getting to that point eventually, Then it will come off eventually.
You need an emergency hat.
But there is a group of people that don't want it to. They say don't never do it because they enjoy the silliness of it.
You must have a protective ring of them around you at all times.
Right. You don't want to see like I'm trying to think of an example. I can't. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Here's a inspiring. It's like a comment / question. Goes, hello guys, I'm a somehow geriatric 32 youth, where have you gone, fan of every single one of you, DSP, Howard, John, Rambo, and OJ. And I have this feeling that the things I love will remain the same no matter how many years I live. In past shows, it was said that you guys would like to learn of life experiences of the Ramborgia. And when John and OJ requested questions and OJ said, that thing I dated, embrace the hate, OJ. My idea was to combine those situations and ask the question, what would Rambo, OJ, Howard do? And what I consider to be one of the most life-changing experiences I had.
What's the situation?
It is the late... Oh, this was part of it. Holy shit. It's a long one, dude. It is, I kind of messed up here. It is the late 90s. I'm 19, and my feelings for this girl called Sophia I met 3 years ago in Algarve, I think Florida for Europeans, are fully developed, and I considered her to be the one. The thing is, she lives away from me, think DSP and Panda Lee, and we've been corresponding for years. Until then, I only saw her once a year, but somehow I could not stop thinking about her, and I knew that I truly loved her, something that I could never again feel, at least not in the same way. I never told her that because I could not justify it in a logical manner. Lived apart in different cities and somewhat different cultures and only saw each other once a year for 2 weeks. So then she tells me in writing, more than once, that she loves me. Relieved for not saying it first, I write her back and I say I love her too. It was nothing but the truth, since I believe that the L word should not be used in vain when I meet with her a few months When I meet with her a few months after that, I pull her aside and ask her what we should do in order to be together, since I loved her and I believed she told me first, after all, that she loved me too. This was the moment that my life changed forever. She looks at me with a confused look and asks, where in the hell have I gotten the idea that she liked me? I swear that this happened. I was rendered speechless by this.
Huh. What happened next?
And all that followed that event was hurt, confusion, humiliation. For a big while, I even asked myself if I was crazy, but I knew that I was not because I had her letters as proof. It was like the person that I was corresponding with never existed, like the evil twin in front of me had killed her and taken her place. When I told her that she said that she loved me and did it first, she simply said that she didn't remember it, and she never thought of me as a man. Her words after telling me in her letters that I was hot, cool, sexy, and she would drop everything to be with me. I sometimes think if this was a case of split personality or bipolar disease or sheer evil, I don't know. What I do know was how it affected me, how bad she made me feel, and how consequences in other areas soon followed. Imagine having the love of your life convincing you to go to her only to tell you that she doesn't know where you got that idea that she liked you and she never thought of you as a man. This was what happened to me and is the first time I am sharing this with anyone. So what would you, us, have done if you were me? Long live the Ramborgia from Ground Zero. It's a little long.
Yeah,
So,
wow.
sorry
That's
about that.
intense.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well, since OJ's side, why don't you go first,
Oh,
Skippy?
dear Bob. Curse you and your hosting powers. Gosh, that would have just hit me like a slap in the face, man. Worse than, I mean, what would I have done? I would have probably, at first, I would have just sat there in shock and wondered, just like, what? The next thing I would have done would have been like, I would have wondered, I would have honestly doubted whether I actually received those letters. Like, did that really happen? Was I making this up? Until I had them in my hand, that's probably what I would think. Yeah, I'm not being very ballsy here, but if I were in that situation, I'm just thinking that's the reaction that would have happened. I mean, I would have been shocked and I would have been very hurt and I would have probably been quite upset. I mean, was she leading me on all this time? I mean, I would have wondered stuff like that. I mean,
Did she change her mind? Maybe did she?
Yeah,
She nuts?
yeah, exactly. Like if she changed her mind, she could just say it. That's okay. At least she's being honest. I mean, I'd probably think that she was she was either being dishonest in the letters or is being dishonest now. And whatever she feels is the truth, she should just say.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you that the aforementioned breakup I took was pretty bad, but I think this beats it by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you dodged a bullet with this one.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to be like that because obviously you get feelings for her. But if she's gonna, act that way and then go out and say that you're not a man to me and things like that, I mean, that's not a good situation for you. So it sucks that you had to go through the height of the world and then dropped to the depths of crap, basically. But sometimes things like happen for a reason, and that's when you got to get away from. I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You want to say anything about this, Howard?
That's kind of difficult. I would, I don't know what I would do. Love stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways it does, especially young love or teenage
Right.
love, and that's from what he was saying. That's what it was, and a lot of people are get confused about what love means and things like that, and a lot of people believe that love is something that's flesh. Is that the right word? Flesh. It's not
You
something
can just
that's
say. You can just
yeah.
say it. You don't have to disguise it.
Yeah, it's a lot of people feel that love is something that's it's just sex, and it's not. It's something more than that. And when you're young, you think you know what it means, and you don't. But I believe things happen for a reason, and you just have to look at this as an opportunity and a situation to help you grow as an individual.
Right. There's no. That's not love. There's no love
Yeah.
there. That's just a sign. Like I'm gonna find it now.
Yeah, these are experiences in your life that these are experiences in everyone's life that everyone has to go through. So you just have to use it as a means to learn and not to make the same mistake again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the best thing you can do, if it doesn't, if you can, remember the good times and the good stuff. The fun you had. I mean, regardless of how it ended, there were times when you genuinely had fun and were having a wonderful time and things were great. That's what you should really focus on. The ending stinks, but if you can remember, like, there are times when I can look back at the good stuff, and that helps, and well, it helps me.
It helps the rage.
Well, I'm not really
There's
mad
just-
anymore. I just, meh, whatever.
love hurts.
You just got to realize, like, when you go through bad things, everyone goes through crap at some point, and just kind of feel good about that fact that you're not alone.
Everybody
But-
hurts.
Everybody hurts.
Sometimes.
It's enough of that.
I think we should start a barbershop quartet. What do you guys think?
Yes.
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 What was that? Like a
Yes.
flat, sharp. It's like that was like the brown sound from South Park.
The brown noise. Beautiful.
Oh man, you're such a critic. You know that, John?
You have more questions?
Yes, I have more questions. I have
Oh
a
my
lot
god!
more
Wow,
questions.
a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Shit. Don't
That's
underestimate
what the brown
me.
noise causes. Yes.
Yes, that is what the brown nose. Let's see here. Dear John and OJ, will we ever listen to an edition of the show hosted by Howard and DSP? Liam Dunn.
That'd be kind of interesting. We've done it with me and you, Howard, and when OJ wasn't there, and then you guys did it without me when I wasn't there. So if me and OJ can't be there, OJ and I cannot be there, then Howard and Phil do it. I didn't even think about this. Hopefully that'll never, hopefully it'll probably be really cool if you did it, but hopefully it'll never happen where, hopefully
dude,
I never miss again. I don't ever want to miss it another
The
time.
world would collapse on itself if that were to ever happen.
What will be your topics, Howard, for you and Phil?
Talk about my swollen sack.
Oh yeah, you think you would enjoy that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I guess anything could happen, but with me and OJ cannot do the show, like that probably means something bad happened to one of us, or if not
Got
both. So
arrested
hopefully,
while filming Schnozman and Hole Punch.
yeah, something crazy would have to happen.
Yeah, but you guys been doing some illegal ass shit, filming that stuff.
All right, no. Just keep going.
Yeah, no.
Just keep going.
Oh man. Here's a question for you, John. My question to you is, when did you start playing Street Fighter, and also what was you and Howard's first ever fighting game? Also, one more thing to John. Your musical videos are great. Cannot wait for the next one. From Alex.
Thank you. When did I first start playing Street Fighter?
Yeah.
I was playing the arcade when it came out. I was a young child. I don't know if I ever told this story before, but
A young lad.
I remember going to an arcade, and when they first had World Warrior and it was brand new, and I saw it, and I was like, I want to play this, I want to play that, and I picked Blanca, and I was probably 7 years old or 8 years old, and then this older dude just picked Honda, and all he did was the 100-hand slaps repeatedly, and he was laughing the whole time. And I just took a terrible beating. All his friends laughed at me, and then I walked away from the machine, and I go, someday I will destroy them all. I don't know if it was that dramatic, but I definitely I fell in love with it, and the beating kind of put something in me, I guess, and from there, it came out on Super Nintendo. I wasn't able to get to the arcade that much because, obviously someone had to drive you there, living in the suburbs, and you don't always have a ride. So on Super Nintendo, and then I really picked up once I got my license, and I was older, and then I started getting into the competitive stuff, and then that was an insane obsession for a long time. Well, yeah, that was my first fighting of Street Fighter 2, World Warrior. I mean, there wasn't many before that, really. So,
Yeah.
And of course, I played Mortal Kombat a little bit when that came out. It was big, and it was pretty much always Street Fighter was the one. I remember even Virtua Fighter or Tekken came out, and they were in the arcade, and they were real popular. But I was like, no, I play Street Fighter. Screw that shit, So.
Yeah, I remember when I don't know if Street Fighter was the first one that I played, but I do remember playing Mortal Kombat in a Burger King. That was great.
Yeah, MK was huge. I mean,
it was great. And then I remember
I'm a little older than you, so I kind of got that in there before you.
Yeah,
so.
and I remember playing. I remember when I got my first copy of the first Mortal Kombat. It was when Bradley's was still a popular store.
I went there.
Yeah, and I miss Bradley's and
buy some cassette tapes, Bradley's.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I remember, man, I was freaking when my dad got it for me, because that was before when Mortal Kombat came out. That was before this whole thing with ratings. Remember those? Yep.
Yeah.
So it was even before that. So anyone can go in the store and pick up the game. So,
and
I think I was 6. Well, how old are you, John?
I'm 29.
29. Yeah, I'm 26 now. Yeah, I think it was 5 or 6. It came out in 93, right? Mortal Kombat?
Might be 92 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. 1993.
Yeah, and I played Street Fighter. You know, I always played all these types of fighting games, and then in my teenage years, I started getting like really big into fighting games, in general, mostly for the Versus series. But then I got back into playing old school Street Fighter with you guys,
Yeah.
with you, John.
Yes. Did I pull you into it?
Yeah, you did actually. But I always thought of you as a jerk. So
Really? Is that true?
yes, it is true because being that we live in the same state. Playing on Xbox Live, I would automatically assume that you would use your headset. No, you're just an ass. You just beat me, and then you just fucking don't say
How do
nothing.
you know? How do you know I didn't have? Maybe I didn't have a headset. How do you know?
Because it didn't flash. That
You were. You would just assume that I was a jerk, and I
yeah.
had a headset.
And then the first time I met you, and then I said, I brought Phil to that Play and Trade tournament in Danbury for a remix. Yeah. And then Phil was like, "Oh, this is John Rambo." And I said, "Yeah."
That was nice to you.
Yeah, you were nice to me. Yeah, you were nice to me because you didn't have a stick and you wanted to use my stick.
Is that true?
Yeah, it was. Remember, it was a black arcade stick that I had.
Oh wow, I remember this.
This is a really good stick. I thought you were gonna steal it too.
Oh, the virtuous stick.
Yeah.
You thought I was gonna steal it?
Yeah.
Wow, what is this?
You jerk.
No, John gets his controllers stolen. He doesn't steal other people's controllers.
That's true. It's happened to me before. But people don't know, like the magic of the arcade era, like the late '80s, early '90s time. Like the coolness about it is you had no idea what was even going to be coming out. It wasn't like now where you know all these games. This is when it comes out. Blah blah blah. Well, so I'd like go to the arcade once in a while, and all of a sudden there'd be something new and amazing. I remember going to the arcade when they first got the Ninja Turtles game in 1989.
Oh man!
Like I remember the first day that was there, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like you had no idea that was coming out, and all of a sudden it's there. And like Mortal Kombat, you don't even know what this is. What is this Mortal Kombat thing? I don't even know what this is. What is it? And then it's like, wow, this is insane, So that was like the best time for like games for me. Like just imagine that. Like you never heard of this awesome thing, and all of a sudden it's there, and you experience it, and you don't know anything about it. You're trying to figure it out,
Yeah,
It's kind of like a more innocent era that you'll never see again because as soon as these games come out now, like when it's coming out, you know everything about it just because of the way the internet and the way of information flows so quickly. People are much more smarter about everything.
I remember, like in a couple, especially around here, we used to have an arcade called "What's Your Game," and it was cool because the guy, the old man, I used to see him on occasion making deliveries, and I used to talk to him a lot, and he would put up the actual flyers that he would get from like Capcom. Oh, this is like. Because they used to have flyers that you can post on the window. Oh, this is a new game that's coming out, and he would give some information. Everybody would like drool over it.
Yeah, cool.
And I still remember, like, what I remember though. Not a lot of people remember this is that Sega, in the height of the fighting game era, they came out with a holographic game, a fighting game. Did you ever heard about this?
What?
No, what is it?
A holographic fighting game, and I remember this from Smiles. It was weird. You can actually it was like a weird mirror system that they and a projector, and it would project to the mirror, and you can actually like put your hand through it. It was like a 3D holograph. It was pretty cool.
How is the fighting system itself though?
Horrible.
Nah.
Well, it didn't catch on, so
it was all gimmicks. Yeah,
there's some fun times, man. I remember when MK3 came out, and they gave everyone like a move list. They finally got smart because people would spend days trying to figure out moves.
Yeah, that is true.
So when that came out, they're like, "Oh, let's give them we'll have some mercy on them. Let's give them the move list."
Oh,
that was times, man.
Yeah, I remember that, and especially in Ultimate MK3, the first time I saw babalities and bestialities and all that other shit. And
bestialities,
animalities.
Oh, bestiality.
That's the arcade. I saw bestiality.
Oh.
And the first time I played Ultimate 3 was at Duchess.
Wow, really?
Fucking Duchess, yeah.
The Duchess in Bridgeport?
No, the one in Fairfield.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
Oh.
Yeah, it was weird though. They used to put arcade machines everywhere, man.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza places, man.
Pizza Hut, man, dude, man.
We didn't have Pizza Hut around here.
Yeah, every local pizza place would have it. And that was like a great Saturday. You go to the pizza place and then eat pizza and play something. So
that's why
Geo or something like that.
That's how Chuck E. Cheese worked. Pizza and games and unsanitized ball pits.
Yeah, but those are fake games and fake pizza.
Hey, they have the turtles, man.
All right. What do we got, Howard?
Let's see here. I've been a fan of DSP as well as a member of the Ramborgia. Ojaculations forever. This question is meant for both OJ and John. What is your dream of what Ramborgia will become? Do you want it to become commercial and have TV shows spin off of it or something like that? What is it going to be, the Ramborgian goal? From Jovan Johnson.
Well, do you feel that we could actually be at new TV shows and stuff? That's a pretty good compliment.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't really think about the commercial aspect of it. I mean, we get a few bucks from what we do, but it's not much. But it's still pretty shocking every time it comes in. And like, what, really? And
Yeah.
sort of think that we could expand. That's pretty a crazy idea. But I don't know. We don't really concentrate on the commercial side of things. I mean, we try to put out stuff that makes us happy, that we feel is good.
Yeah.
And that we take pride in and basically feel good about at the end of the day, and I mean, if we wanted it to become a commercial thing, I tell you right now, I could do that. I could, the show would be 5 parts long, and we would join Machinima, and we do game playthroughs all the time, which is what everyone told me to do in the beginning, and still sometimes does. But and we probably make more money doing that. We'd probably have more subscribers, but that's not what we want to do. That's not our plan. That's not our goal here.
Yeah.
And we kind of take the hard road, more than anything else. But I think if we're patient and we stick to our plan that we have in place and what we want to do, I think we're going to go somewhere good. I don't know exactly where that's going to be.
Toledo.
But I'd say our goal is to put out stuff that we like, that other people like, and if we can make some cash doing it, then that'd be really great. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're focusing a lot on producing content, original content that we like, that we enjoy, that we would be proud to show off to people.
Right. I mean, I got to the point where I'm like, man, like I spend so much time enjoying stuff other people made. Like I want to make stuff that people enjoy. That's kind of like how it kind of hit me. Like I want to create things that people like, instead of just using someone else's work. And another thing with us, like we don't compromise what we do. Like if there was some kind of situation where we could similar to what we have now, I think that's the beauty of the internet, is we have no corporate master. We've no one telling us what we should be doing. We can do whatever we want, right? If there's some kind of situation like that arose where we could do something on a grander scale where we don't have to compromise and we have control what we're doing, that would probably work out. Well, I think we're pretty protective, and like I wouldn't want to compromise what we have going on here. That's the reason why we haven't joined some of these groups. I don't want to stick someone else's logo in front of my videos. Like even if that's a small thing to some people, to me that's a big deal. Like I'm not sticking someone else's logo in front of like something I put out. So we're not gonna compromise what we do, and if success comes to like the commercial aspect would have to come to us. We're not going to go to that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about you, John? What do you think?
Well, like I said before, I mean, I think what we're going to do is rather than focus on how can we use this to make money, we're going to just focus on how can we create this? How can we make this better? Where can we go from here? What sort of endeavors can we undertake here that we would enjoy, that we want to show people? What can we bring to this entertainment environment? I mean, you can go see anything anywhere. Why see us? I mean, we want to figure out what that is and do it.
Right. We want to be able to stand on our own. And what's the point? If we're just going to do what other people are doing, what's the point of us existing? And I want to be able to say, like, everything we put out, like, I'm proud of this. Everything I put out has my name on it. That represents me. I'm very proud of this. I put a lot of work into this. In some cases, maybe you could say, to use a word, this is art. That's what I want to make. I want to make art. If that's what it is to you or not, that's for you to decide, but that's what I want to do.
Okay.
I think everyone's got stories to tell, and I'd like ours to get out.
Yes.
Okay.
It's got to be patient. It's when you do this kind of stuff we do, it takes time.
Okay, I think this is we got one more question. And I think this basically wraps it up. Hello, Howard. My name is Ocho Cinco, and I have a question for Mr. Sexy, also known as John Rambo.
That's correct.
My question to John is, what is your greatest moment you ever had with Phil? Please do not say E3 or the recent trip to too many games. Some moments really deep in your lovely heart. Also, please inform us of how you started your friendly relationship with Phil. I know Phil gave us some info on how you met, but please tell with detail. Thanks. Ocho Cinco out.
Wow, it's just pretty crazy. We just kind of met through other people. My friend Jamie and I were heavy into Street Fighter and going to tournaments and stuff, and we played at the Danbury Arcade, which is Game World in Danbury, Connecticut, which is out of business, which has been for a long time. And we always play there. And then Phil was on, and that's kind of like that area of Connecticut, like the west Connecticut, and then like the southern part, which is where Phil lives. And he played with other guys in that scene over there, which is like that What's Your Game scene over there, which you talked about, Howard. Mm-hmm. And there's this dude Tony B, and Tony B, he lived in like New London, which is like eastern Connecticut, but he's like the first one that was like, you know what, I want to play other people outside of my little region, because back then it was a completely different world. There was no online Street Fighter, there was no online games really. So you're talking like over 10 years ago here. So up until when did Street Fighter really go online? With pretty much this generation, right?
Yeah, you figure.
Only been a couple of years, right?
Yeah, you figure with emulator stuff, it's probably been like 6 years, probably 7 years.
And there was a whole different dynamic to the tournaments back then, because you would train and you would play with these guys in your local towns, and then you would go to these tournaments. And the only people you got to practice with were the people in your towns.
Yeah, and let our fans know about how well these fucking tournaments seed, like brackets.
Oh, the tournaments are awful. That's a whole story. But this dude Tony B, he lives in eastern Connecticut, and he's like, well, I don't want to just play the people in my area. So he was like the first one to just start traveling to like where Phil is, and then he met Phil, and he was friendly with those guys. And he would go there sometimes. And then sometimes he would come to where we are in our arcade. He would play with us. He would drive like 5 hours or whatever to get there, you know?
He's the original world warrior, man.
So he was the one that united all the parts. So like, what happened was Phil went to Evo in 2005. I didn't even know him at this point. And he, at Super Turbo, he got like top 5 or something like that. I forget what it was, maybe third or something like that in the national tournament. And, Tony's like, yeah, I know Phil, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, can we get together with Phil and play him? Because we were trying to get better. We were more starting out at that point. And Tony brought Phil to Jamie's house. And then I met Phil there. And that kind of like united all the families. It was kind of like the mafia, I guess. We kind of became one big family. And then we would communicate with Phil, and we would start traveling with him and stuff like that, because we were really into it like he was. And then that kind of brings me to what was this question? What are some of the best moments with Phil or something?
Yeah.
Probably just these long car rides, driving to Mass for like 6 hours or whatever, and that kind of stuff is where we really got to know each other. And people say we have like good chemistry with the commentary and the playthroughs, and that's probably why, because we kind of forged it in these long car rides, So I remember one of the first times we went somewhere, he got pulled over, and for like no reason, we were driving like hours. We're going somewhere, and he got pulled over, and for whatever reason, his license says that he's supposed to have glasses. So the cop's like, "Where are your glasses?" And he's like, "I don't have the glasses." So he's like, "You can't drive anymore." So he's like, "Who else has a license here?" And there was like a bunch of us in the car. I was the only one that had a license. So I had to drive his car like the rest of the way. And this is like one of the first times we ever knew each other.
Like you just met funny. And you're driving his car.
Yeah, like we just met, and then it was like, "Oh, you have to drive my car now for like 3 hours." Because for whatever reason, we'll have to ask him about this, why his license says he's supposed to have glasses. I don't know.
He stole someone's eyes.
Go into his video. Everyone listen, go into his videos and see you're supposed to be wearing glasses right now. Well, yeah, that's probably the what I'd like to say. I mean, that's how we met and everything, and I don't know what else to say. So
Yeah.
it's kind of funny how things went from that to where we are today. Kind of crazy, but
Yep. But aside from that, I think that's it. Anything else you guys want to add?
is that all the questions?
Yep, that's all the questions, man.
OJ, what do you got?
What do you got? What do I got for what?
What do you got?
I don't understand the nature of
Any questions for me?
any questions for you.
Yeah, Howard, do you have any questions of your own, or are we done with the questions?
I'm done with the questions, man. I know all about you, man.
You know more
You know
than
too-
you want to know about
There's
him.
more than he wants to know.
Yes, I do. Oh man.
So why don't we talk about Project 7 a little bit? That came out over the weekend, and you guys are in it. Do you
We
anything you
are
wanna
in
say
that.
about
Yeah.
How do you think it came out, Howard? What do you have to say?
They did a really good job. The special effects, things like that. I noticed a lot of people complain a little bit about the I guess the dialogue with the story, but it is what it is. Like I said, some people said it was a little too childish, right? Was that what was a lot?
John, what do you have to say about it?
I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I kind of felt. I mean, I don't know. We got a lot of people saying it was awesome, and a lot of people saying the same stuff Howard said, and I felt bad too because I was so psyched because I was in the episode a lot, and a lot of people were ranking it not as their favorite, and I was sad, but I don't know. I think it was fun to do, but filming that was nuts, man. We were bouncing around from place to place.
Well, you guys did a great job. Howard, what do you think about OJ's performance? Were you surprised,
Oh,
or
dear
what do you have to
Bob.
say?
Oh yeah, I was surprised. I actually have video of us going into Tomlinson's and OJ acting like Mario inside of a restaurant.
You really?
I do.
I don't
You
think
gotta
I've
give me
seen that.
I have like we're about to go inside of Tomlinson's and then I interview him and he's in character.
You gotta hook me up with that.
Maybe you should use that as the intro for this video.
I have all this footage of OJ at too many games. We went to Target because we had to get some stuff, and I have him like doing stuff in Target. I don't know what to do with this
Was I
footage.
dressed up at that point?
No, you were not, but you were acting crazy.
Yeah, I would love to see that
I
footage.
think you were drunk or something.
How can you do this like acting like this inside of like a public place like straight
He
faced?
loves
I
it.
wouldn't be able to do it.
He thinks it's great.
He thinks it's
As long
great.
as no one catches me. I mean, I'm paranoid about getting caught. Like at first, I'm like, I don't want to film in here, and then when no one seemed to care, I just started going nuts.
Wait, so you actually brought the camera inside of the store, John, and you started filming?
Yeah, I was filming him in Target, and he was doing all kinds of things.
Like you were actually pointing the camera,
Oh yeah.
and nobody said anything to you.
No, they just kind of look at you like, I don't know.
They're usually sticklers about that shit, bringing cameras
No,
inside
they
of
didn't
like
care, man.
retail stores.
They didn't care. So.
Wow. I got to
Wow.
see this.
Yeah, I
He's
would like
built.
to see. I barely even remember. I remember something about what is it? Cinnabon cereal or Cinnabon bites.
I don't know. I'll do something with it eventually. I'm not sure what to do with it.
Oh dear Bob. This can only end in tears.
Howard, why don't you say something about your friend Carlos? Because he's the dude that's making our site right now, and I definitely want to have him on the show eventually. Well, first of all, I want to say this about you, Howard. You know, like the nicest people ever. I've told you this before.
My
That's because he
friends?
is one of the nicest people.
He has like the best friends like a person could ever have. Like he introduces me to these people, and they're just so kind, and just go out of their way for you for like no reason.
That's because Howard associates himself with people who are nice like he is. I don't know why he hangs out with
Apparently,
us
yeah.
though.
You guys
Like
are
for instance, Andre, respect the pact, Andre, Paul. Those guys are like just the best people ever. And then he turns me on to this dude Carlos, and this guy's just going nuts. He's working on the site and he's just busting his ass. And the guy's awesome. Tell us a little bit about this guy.
Carlos and I have been friends since we were kids, and as the years went on, this is another going back to what we were talking about before. Whenever you teach yourself something, you end up cherishing it more. So he's actually a self-taught web designer.
Huh.
Yeah.
And a little interesting fact: when he went to go get his degree in web design, that he showed the teacher his portfolio, and the teacher basically just told him, "Oh, so you're just here to just get a degree. You're not here to learn because you already know everything." Yeah, it's because
Oops.
that's how good his portfolio was. So, it was pretty cool when we were kids. He was really good at like he was basically designing like websites. You know, this was when the internet started going into its phase from what was it, Web 1.0 to 2.0, or actually 1.0 to 1.5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, so when people started using this is still an AOL era, so people were starting to use like Flash. Flash was starting to become something that was really popular stuff. So he's really good at coding like websites. So he's very old school. So he doesn't use any of that Dreamweaver stuff that's basically just copy and paste. So he builds everything from the ground up and uses old school techniques, which are the ideal way to build websites. And
Yeah.
as you can see from what he did with Don't Blow This and Rambo's site. Rambo, is your site live?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay.
It's we're working on it
All
all the
right.
time.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
We're going nuts.
Yeah. So he's very what's the word? He's a perfectionist. John
Right.
will tell you everything that he does. It has to be perfect.
Well, here's the thing. I'm similar in a lot of ways to like the stuff I do. So we go back and forth for hours on IMs,
Believe it.
debating how to do how to implement things.
It's like a perpetual motion machine.
Yeah, like you should. I should I wanted to record like one of our conversations. 'Cause it was so crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's just out of control at this point. So it's just taking longer than it should. But we're trying to do our best. So
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you can expect. You know, when he you know, uh, especially over the last a couple of years, he's gotten this job. He works at at a theme park in Florida, and he's been a little bit overwhelmed. But when he tells you he's going to do something, he will do it. And
Yeah.
regardless if it might take a little bit longer than what he planned, you know, due to his time constraints. But for the most part, he will do it, and he will do a very good job. So.
right.
Once he gets he actually it was pretty cool. We were talking about it the other day. He told me that John's website actually inspired him to release some of his artwork at a convention in Florida.
Nice.
So, yes.
Yeah, he was telling me about this convention in Florida. It's next March. So I was like, maybe we could go to it.
Yeah, so you know, if that's the
We
case,
could actually go there too.
yeah, maybe we can go there and then just just show some support to him. You know,
That'd be really cool.
That would
Yeah.
be really nice. That would be a nice gesture, you guys.
so
Yes.
you know, and
I feel like when the site's done, we're gonna have him on to talk to us, and we'll have we'll do a whole special and stuff for that. So hopefully soon.
yeah,
It's getting there.
it is. When's the site supposed to go live? Supposed to?
We don't have a date. I just keep talking about it. Well, it's very close. Like I was looking at, like it's almost done. Like I'm looking at it today. I'm like, wow, okay.
So how does it look, in your opinion, John?
It looks good. I mean, everything he did is great. He made a logo that's amazing. I feel like I want to give him thousands of dollars for his work, but I don't have that. So hopefully, I could compensate him some way. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, you could put your art on there, man. That'd be awesome. Something. I mean, he's just a beast. So very happy with it.
Yeah. So when everything gets situated, when you do decide to have him on the show, please just tell me, and I want to interview him as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and we have to get he's gonna put up a website. Or he's gonna create a website for himself, so we got to get his plug his stuff in.
Absolutely.
Darn tootin'.
You darn.
One thing I want to tell you about, a couple people asked me about the new Mass Effect 3 endings. So, how my thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was
boy.
one of the questions.
Oh, really? Why
Yeah.
didn't you ask it?
I forgot.
You forgot. Are there any other questions you forgot?
No, some of the other questions were a little, well,
All right.
you know, it is what it is.
Pornographic?
Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit.
What?
Yeah, a little bit pornographic.
All right. So, Mass Effect 3, if you don't know, people didn't like the ending last time, so they decided to put these new endings in. And they're better endings, I have to say. They're more detailed. They make more sense. It's a lot better. My problem with it was I didn't want to play the game, any part of the game again. I actually beat that game twice, and I had no desire to play any part of it again. So I feel like when you get this DLC, it's a free DLC, you should be able to just watch the ending based upon the fact that you beat it already, right? In my mind. but you can't do that. So there's a point in the game where they recommend that you load up to get everything, like see all the new stuff, and that's like hours and hours of gameplay. So I'm like, I don't want to do that shit. So I loaded up like the last possible point in the game where you could save. All you have to do is walk down a hallway, and then you can see the ending. But I guess you miss a couple things. But I did that, and it did work, and I thought the endings were a lot better. You know, I don't know why people went so insane last time. Like, it wasn't very good, but there's people like have this theory that Shepard's indoctrinated. He's indoctrinated, and they made like websites about it, and like hundreds of videos, and like going crazy. That had nothing to do with the ending, so that was, you know, people got out of control. But I thought it was better, and I'm pretty much done with this game now.
Never again.
That was my complaint. I feel like you should be able to download it, and then it has like a theater, and you can just watch all of it. Like, why did you have to play stuff again? That was the part that was frustrating to me. So.
Okay.
Spider-Man comes out next week. You guys gonna see it?
I plan on it.
I might.
You might see it.
As long as you come with me to the theater.
Why do I have to go?
Aw.
And hold my hand.
Why, you're afraid of the lizard?
I'm afraid of the dark.
What is the meeting of the Midnight Society?
Yes, it is.
John, you going to see Spider-Man?
I want to, yeah, man. Let's
Cool.
see it.
Are you excited for this new, rehash of Spider-Man?
I'm more excited for Batman than this, but I feel like this has a good opportunity to like maybe shock me, and you're not like expecting it to be great. Maybe it could be, you know.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with the last Spider-Man. What was that, 3?
That was awful.
Yeah,
That was pretty bad.
especially when you're thinking, oh my God, Venom's in it, and he should be like the most epic like villain, and they made him like the most shitty villain.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was awful.
But
Did you
look,
see any movies this summer, Howard?
This summer,
Yeah.
the last movie I saw was Avengers.
Yeah, me too. I had plans to see all these movies, it just didn't work out.
yeah.
I want to see like Prometheus, all these other stuff, just didn't happen.
Yeah, I did want to go see Prometheus as well.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I saw Alien for the first time this weekend.
You did. You finally saw it.
I finally saw Alien.
You watched it with you.
My D&D group.
John won't watch the movie by himself, Howard.
Why, you're scared?
He's afraid.
I don't
Don't
like
wor-
watching horror movies by myself.
Don't worry about it. I'm in the same boat, man.
If I'm not
Is that
going to
true?
watch them,
Yeah,
Really?
I can't watch. I have a tough time watching horror movies.
I watch him in complete darkness,
I can't do that.
no clothes on,
What the hell?
hanging upside down with a animal sacrifice going on in the background.
That's a little demonic.
that's dark, dude.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I really can't. Like, what was the last horror movie that I watched? I don't even remember. Oh, speaking of horror movies, what did you guys think of those paranormal activity movies?
I didn't see
I
those.
never saw those.
Yeah, we didn't see
They
them.
looked really weird.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. The first one was pretty good. I don't know if I watched the second one, but then they started doing some weird spin-offs off of it. I don't know if it was the same director, but then it started getting dumb.
Yeah.
But
Let's go. Yeah, man. You said that you started your new job. Or what are you looking to start up with games again?
what am I looking to start up with games?
Yes.
Um,
Looking at to start with.
well, I've been talking to Paul lately, and I'm thinking about maybe taking over the reins for Respect the Pact and doing the playthroughs for them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so if I do decide to when I get the time, the first game I do for that channel is gonna be Dark Souls again.
Really?
Again.
Yeah, people are asking.
Is it gonna be streamed first, or is it gonna be exclusively on the channels?
I don't know yet. I might do a simultaneous kind of a thing, but if not, then I'll just do just a game. Especially now since there's a DLC for it confirmed.
I see. I think at E3 there was something about that I saw.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. Why don't we play together, John?
Dark Souls. I don't even have it.
Just get it. You got a get it. You get it for the PS3. We could do it together.
You're gonna have to get that for me.
Come on, man. I don't have. What, I gotta bank your habits
I
too.
think OJ's your man for this job.
Oh boy, what now?
Johnny, you want to play Dark Souls?
He'll play.
I'm curious about that game, but I don't know when in Bob's name I'd have time to play it.
You ready to get your ass beat?
Well, honestly, I want to play Demon Souls first. Yeah, even though you don't need to play Demon Souls to play Dark Souls.
I have Demon Souls and I still haven't played it yet.
I can tell because you're not tearing your teeth out in frustration.
Dark Souls is pretty crummy.
You beat it.
Yeah, but I still get shit for it because people walked me through it, and people helped me in the co-op and stuff. But that was the whole point. Yeah, that was the whole point of it, though. I think the co-op aspect of it, makes the game.
Oh no, you didn't beat this super incredibly difficult game without asking somebody, oh gosh, how do I not die? Come on, calm down.
Yeah, especially when in the game there's certain areas that people can actually invade. That's like the worst, dude. The game is just like a kick in the balls.
Well, I remember Demon Souls, like it gets harder when you die.
Oh, it does? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I think the difficulty, like, I think there's like light and dark, and it gets darker when you die, right? And then that makes things more painful to go through, a little bit.
Yeah. Painful is when when you're sitting on a shit ton of souls, and souls is the way of currency in the game, and then bam, you fucking die, and then the souls gets wherever you die, the souls stay there where you died. So you could be going through like a hard ass boss. If you run through the boss, right, and you try to grab the souls first, and he kills you before you grab the souls, all those souls are gone.
Lovely.
So you could have something like 500,000 souls, so that you can level up. Bam, gone.
So Howard, what did you feel about today's show? Did you enjoy the hosting and what did you think about these questions we got? How do you think it went today?
It went pretty well, I believe. Again, I'm not used to hosting. I'm just used to being co-host. So it's
you enjoy when you come on the show. You almost don't have a choice. I just kind of tell you you're coming on, and you go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, basically.
How do you think I got here?
I don't think you ever asked to ever be on the show. You just all of a sudden you just get the call, like Howard.
What is it? The bat signal?
This time, yeah, exactly. The Howard signal goes out, and then everyone loves to have you on. We appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, dude, and you're more than capable of hosting.
Yeah, right.
You're very much the third member of the announced team here.
Yes, I'm a full-fledged member of the Ramborgia. I'm the treasurer, and you guys are the president.
Oh, you just want to handle the money, no?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So when I hit that button for $1 million, I'll go call you.
That's if I'm not the one that goes.
Oh, my plan would be ruined.
So John, 40 shows. What do you think about this?
Whew. That's like.
Do you think you would make it this far or what?
Dude, that means we've got between 40 and 60 hours of us talking recorded on the internet.
What do you have to say looking back on the past 40? What do you have to say? Anything?
It's been a wild ride, man. I'd love to do another 40. I mean, I'd love to do 40 all the time. I mean, 40s are great. I just think this has been a lot of fun, and I didn't really think of where this was going to go. I just figured, hey, we'll do this, and I'm glad it's gotten to where it is, and I can't wait to see where it goes in the future.
I think the fear, like early on, was like, okay, well, what are we going to do after like week 10? Will we have anything to talk about? Well, it's been pretty easy, I think. We do like almost 2 hours every week, and it's not hard to come up with stuff to talk about. So, that was pretty much shattered, and I think we will go forever.
And ever. Dude, you're going to have to put a mic in with my coffin when I go.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Coffin mic for OJ. That's kind of bizarre. So do you feel that we've done better than you thought, or is it not as good as you thought it would be, this run?
This run? Dude, the fact that we hit 40 episodes is amazing. I mean,
it's kind of crazy, too, how quickly time went.
I can't believe it, dude. Like, we started
we're almost at the 1 year mark, like, technically.
We've got 3 months to go. We're 3/4, practically, of the way through.
Yes. Yep.
This is insane.
What about you, Howard? What do you have to say about the show? Anything?
I'm just surprised at how well the overall response has been towards it.
Yeah, it's been excellent.
Yeah, it has been excellent, and we just end up, I honestly, I feel like we just talk about nonsense for 2 hours. And you guys end up.
Howard, stop. Our secret's out.
So
Don't let them know that.
But for a big point in when I was doing my regular job before, I would just listen to the show. I would constantly bug John. John, let's go. Release the show so I can download it. Hurry up. I want to listen to what kind of shenanigans you guys are going to be talking about.
It's been a great run so far. I'm really looking forward to tripling it and quadrupling it, the amount of shows we've done. And best part's been, really connecting with the audience in a huge way. And, first of all, building an audience and then getting to know, many of the members of it. And, just having a great time. It's always fun to talk to you guys, and we've had some good guests. And we'll continue onward. I think the goal for us, as we talked about, is we're always trying to get better and improve what we're doing. And that's an important thing to aspire to,
Yeah.
Yep.
We couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much for participating, for sending us questions, for commenting, for everything you guys do out there. The pictures, the videos, the stories, everything.
Yeah, they really make it work. I mean, imagine no one give comments or submitted any kind of art or anything. What would we do?
Hi.
That would be hard to come up with content. So.
Welcome to the show. I had a bagel.
There'd be some terrible drawings that I made myself, and I suck at art, so.
5-year-old duel.
Pretty much, yeah.
Aww.
I would say the show, but it'd be spelled wrong.
The schwo.
Exactly.
With John Rabmo.
So, Johnny, when are you going to see Spider-Man? I think it comes out on, the 3rd or something.
Oh, Frel, that's right. Well, I know that 4th of July is my friend's birthday, so we're going to a birthday barbecue with those folks. Unless they're planning on seeing the movie that day, I could probably see it Tuesday if it comes out Tuesday.
I'm trying to think if we could talk about it next week.
Yeah. Oh, Zick. Yeah. Well, next Wednesday is my friend's birthday, so.
All right. Well, perhaps we'll be talking about Spider-Man next week. Get some other stuff lined up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one.
There will be plenty for us to speak of.
Howard, we thank you for helping us out.
No problem.
As always, you have the distinction as the most show appearances of any non-regular host. How do you feel about that? You've been on more than anyone.
I'm grateful. I'm honored. I'm very
Don't lie.
honored. I'm not.
We're the ones who are honored, sir.
Since you're the host, why don't you wrap us up here?
I can't do it. You have to do it.
You have to do it. You're the host.
Oh, come on. Help me out here. Help me out here, John.
You got it. Anyway, you could edit it any way you want.
No, but I want you to end it.
Why do I have to end it? I always end it.
Because I want you to end it. That's how you do it.
Why don't we all do parts of it? John, you start.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for listening to John Rambo Presents the show.
I think you already screwed it up.
What?
You're supposed to say.
This is fine. This is OJ. No, that's the end of it. Zick.
Supposed to say. For Howard. For John. This is OJ signing off. Thank you for listening and being a part of John Rambo Presents, the best and free and optional
Tortilla.
All right, do one more. I know you can do better than that.
Who, me?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for listening to John Rambo Presents, the best and free and optional.
North Korea.
All right, that'll do it. 40 episodes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
40 more coming soon.
You got it.
Adios.